my name is Samantha Haggerty, and today I would like to talk with you about gun control. I'm personally all for more gun control since in the last couple of years more mass shootings have happened, which have led to more innocent people getting killed and injured. However, I do know that people feel very strong about the Second Amendment and their right to own a gun, so hopefully I can change their mind with this speech. Overall, there are three broad types of firearms. There are the handguns, the rifles, and the shotguns. Shotguns and rifles are both considered long guns. There is also the semi-automatic firearm, which fires one bullet each time the trigger is pulled, ejects the shell of the fired bullet, and automatically loads another bullet for the next pull of trigger. This is the very dangerous firearm since those are the ones that are mostly used at mass shootings. And since you only have to hold your finger onto the trigger, and it just ejects a lot of shells. Facts about the U.S. So 88.8 guns per 100 people are here in the U.S. This is about 270 million guns. This is the highest total per capita in the world. Wyoming is the state that owns the most guns. It's not 195.7 per thousand people, and New York is the one with the least guns, 3.3 per thousand people. Alaska has the state with the most deaths by firearms, and 22 people own one or more guns, one more than or one gun. So the orange part is the United States population, and the red part is how many guns there are. So you can see it's almost even. More gun control, please. So there were 464,033 total gun deaths between 1999 and 2013. Firearms were the 12th leading death when it came to all death, and it's even more than fire or flood or even liver disease. And about 200 Americans go to the emergency room every single day due to gunshot wounds. Here, the red part is suicide by gun, and the orange part is suicide with something with a different weapon. The next one is homicide. Homicide by gun is the red part, and homicide with another weapon is the orange part. Mass shootings. An investigation has shown that high-capacity magazines were used in 50% of all 62 shootings that happened between 1982 and 2012. When high-capacity magazines were used, the death rates alone rose by 63%, and the injury rate rose by 156% alone just by using that kind of firearm. Women. 5 women are murdered every single day with a gun, just alone in the United States. A woman's risk of being murdered increases by 500% just because a gun is even present. A 2003 study has shown that high-income countries found 86% of women being killed by firearms alone in the United States. American women are 11.4 more likely to be victims of a homicide when 57% of mass shootings involved domestic violence. And this is the really scary part. 31 states do not ban convicted stalkers from owning guns, and 41 states do not force convicted domestic abusers to return their guns. I think that's very scary. Here you can see the red part for women is killed by gun, and the orange part is killed with another weapon. So you can see how drastically women are killed with guns. Other nations, so Switzerland and Finland both have license and very strict background checks that include mental health checks and criminal record checks. Switzerland is number 3 in international gun ownership. However, they only have 45.3 per 100 people of death. And Finland is number 4, and they only have 45.5 per 100 people's death. United States, as I mentioned before, is number 1. Here you can see United States, it's a yellow part all the way to 3.3, and Switzerland is all the way down here, 0.8. That should tell you how many guns the United States has compared to other countries. More gun control and fewer suicides. So investigation has shown that if there were less guns, less suicides were noted too. As well, in the United States, according to 52% of all suicides were during those years, between 1999 and 2013. Those are just some general facts. It has proven that 100% of a child's death could be prevented if there was a child safety proof law on the gun. As I mentioned before, just the presence of a firearm can make the risk for a woman go up by 500%. And the buyers of purchase of firearms through private sales in the U.S. do not have to do any kind of background checks. That includes criminals, felons, and people that have a mental health issue. And approximately 20% of gun owners own about 65% of all guns in the United States. And this is also a very scary part. There are about 270 million guns. However, our police force only owns 897,000. So there are a lot more guns here in the U.S. than the police force itself has. This was my speech about gun control. I hope you liked it, and maybe it may change your mind and think about it if it's really necessary for you to own a gun, and maybe if the risk isn't as high if you don't have a gun at home. I think it can really enhance your life and our society. Thank you very much.